You know, a guilty pleasure show of mine when I was in like my early to mid 20s was called A Thousand Ways to Die. And it was certainly memorable, just some of the over the top nature of the show. And you're just like, this is too good, too funny, and too awesome. Oh, I know, let's have it run concurrently with the Final Destination 3. I don't have the DVD, so I just watched it on YouTube. I'm like, it's right there. May as well plow through these movies. So this time involves roller coaster. Hey, let's have this woman receive a premonition about her of the roller coaster detaching and just malfunctioning or just falling. It's because death it actually takes the coasters off the wheel, not the ride itself malfunctioning. Just to be clear. And it's we also Tony Todd is doing the voice of Lucifer himself. He has one baritone voice, like like this. This one injected some much needed humor into it, because honestly, I felt like, compared to the first two, when it it felt like they were truly taking the way how death was being handled seriously and trying to connect the dots. Yeah, you're trying to connect the dots and figure out the pattern. That's just barely even shown here. Yeah, they go over like who was on the roller coaster at the time, what position was this in, who got on, who got off, and I'm like, okay, now we're really stretching it. I'm like, okay, let's see what's going on with Thanatos himself, and just try and make this an enjoyable romp. And unfortunately, it misses the mark. This series is starting to go downhill, in my opinion. But that doesn't mean that this movie is without merit. Mary Elizabeth Winstead as the new final girl, which is a person who survives until the woman who survives until the very end, usually a virgin in horror movie tropes, is gives the best performance possible for this franchise. Actually trying to prevent that screaming and being sarcastic. So there is more emotion coming from her, and trying to take this seriously and prevent them. But like I said, it just gets so paper thin in this. I'm just like, this is just not that great. It's just a lot of slow, boring stuff. Because with the other two, when they weren't more in depth with more in depth with their figuring everything out. This one doesn't even have that. It's like we're just waiting for the next death scene, and we get some talking here and there. It's like, I don't know. It really drags us down. However, like I said, with the humor, oh, I know. Let's get two women to go into a tanning booth and have them act like valley girls who are drinking the massive size sodas and everything else, and saying, "Hey, you can't have any sodas in here." Drinks it all, nothing to worry about. Puts it down. Unfortunately, some drops from the container go to this VAC thingy. I don't know, with vacation mode for like a water heater or something like that, and it gets fried all the way up, and we actually get to see them just truly be, I guess, electrocuted to death. That was actually pretty funny. That's actually based on like 4 urban myths about like tanning salons. Like a piece of wood falling on them, and then one about literally their insides getting cooked, which would actually take an extremely long time for it to happen. So that was funny. Just the nature of it, of just how it combines all those urban legends and just getting fried. It's actually really funny. And some other guy speaking in a foreign Russian with a guy named Yuri who runs the tanning salon. That was pretty funny, and I'm like, okay, I can see that. There's also a home improvement store. I think it was a Lowe's or a Home Depot, where the crew could only go in during nighttime. They had to they had to turn some of the branded items 180 degrees since product placement didn't really work in here outside like maybe one or two because they didn't want to be associated with a teen slash movie or teen death movie, you know. So it was so funny just to see this one actor, Chris, whatever his last name was, take actually had to take 2 days of forklift driving lessons. So it was just funny to see his three friends and then him in a forklift as they're going like maybe 3 miles an hour, and there's just this giant forklift. Death decides to have, hey, let's get another forklift and lead everyone to a what we think is going to be death by impalement, but it turns out it's a nail gun, and I'm like, well, you can have a lot of fun with a forklift. And you know, the first time he was actually performing the scene, he kind of damaged something, so they had to fix that. So it was just funny, just the absurdity of just the forklift. I'm like, this is just so bizarre. It actually made it stand out. And of course, let's not forget the hilarious nature of the guy playing the jock who was trying to get to a football scholarship. He goes so over the top where he says, F death, I'm going to make it my bitch. Death fears me, and then says the swear word so many times. Yeah, this is so funny. As he's lifting weights, going absolutely effing insane, here's what he says. Whoa, what did I tell you, Kevin, huh? Fuck death, baby. I just won. That's all I know how to do, Kevin. I just won. And then his head gets smashed over by some fitness equipment, so that was pretty funny. And then two more funny quotes. F you, Ben Franklin. And, so what? Is he going to get crushed by a giant SpongeBob? Pause. SpongeBob lives underwater. It is so sad that you know that. So, yeah, and also during the tanning scene, the two actresses were afraid to perform it topless. So it's like, okay, so we're just going to have the director and the two camera operators come in and film, and it's like, okay, that does put us at ease. Plus, they were also partitioned away from other people, so it's like they did what they had to do in order to ensure things were safe, or I guess what's acceptable for the actors. So I'm like, all right then, this is what I like. So yeah, it's just given the it just becomes absurd and just kind of a respectful parody of itself. Like I said, when this movie is slow, it's really okay. It's okay, I guess. Half of it, it's like half of it is pretty good, but the other half just kind of stinks, man. I'm just like, I don't know. I say watch it if you want to laugh, if you want to hear something about SpongeBob and some other humorous quotes, but ultimately overall, I'm just gonna say this one's mediocre.